book review. Haven't done one of these for a while, so we're going to start with Geoff Thompson. Why we start with Geoff Thompson? Because Geoff Thompson started it all. So, Notes from a Factory Floor, his follow-up to his first autobiography, which is Watch My Back, which obviously I've reviewed a lot of Geoff's stuff, and I've certainly reviewed that. Be prepared going into this that it might not be what you're thinking it is. So, we know that Geoff has in more recent times moved away from the violence stuff. He's focused on his actual writing, his art. Mad respect for the guy for doing that. He's a BAFTA winner. How many of us watching right now are BAFTA winners? Exactly. So I'm all for him doing that. I know a lot of people wish he'd go back to writing about the mud and the blood and the beer type of stuff, but he's already written that. Why would he want to go and retread old stuff? I was quite pleasantly surprised with this about how much he goes into his judo training, because if you're familiar with the channel, I'm a big fan of judo. There's certain stuff he goes into here that you will not be comfortable with. There's certain stuff he goes into here about what he was going through and what he was doing to himself that you're not going to be comfortable reading. Know that going in. Also know the massive, massive bags of courage it must have taken him to, one, admit what he was doing to himself, to two, to put it on the actual page, and to three, to allow that to go out to be printed, published, and shared with the world. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who won't admit to themselves that they're overeating junk food. There's a lot of people that won't admit that they're maybe smoking too much, or any smoking too much, or that they're drinking more often than just once a week. For him to be able to put in this book what he was doing, I mean, yes, shocked, but massive respect for the guy. So it does go from the end of Watch My Back. So if you're expecting more sort of door stories, you're not really going to get that. It's more about him going through really a transformation. And Watch My Back was really about a transformation if you actually paid attention to what you're reading. It wasn't really about a bouncer, it was about a bouncer's journey. It was about what this guy was going through who just happened to be bouncing on the doors at the time. So this, I do recommend it. I don't think it's going to grab people the way Watch My Back did, just purely because Watch My Back was a very visceral, guttural level, whacking, getting in there, facing violence, which is something we all go, ooh! This, I think, is on reflection, an equally as important book, but I don't think this is going to have the massive impact that Watch My Back did. And I know Watch My Back was more of a cult book that grew and grew and grew over time, but still absolutely well worth getting a copy of and having a read of. But again, don't go in expecting it to be the work of Geoff Thompson, who was sparking people on a nightly basis. Go in expecting it to be the work of Geoff Thompson, a guy who has left that behind, who has gone through several incarnations of himself, and is now a full-time professional writer who is still trying to strip away anything about him that allows a shadow to breed. So do give it a whirl. It is worth a look, and I will probably review some more Geoff books as we go forward.